February 13th is going to be a big day for XLM holders. A bunch of us out there saying it's even going to be bigger than the SOAR band launch. But why February 13th? It's not Valentine's Day, no. But the switch could start flipping and it would make markets roar. So let's learn why the 13th is such a big one. Starting it off with your comments, viewer matters most. And I'm tinkering around with the sound here the next few videos. I want to make it as crispy as possible without the background noise. Let me know over the next few videos if you notice an improvement in sound. Shadow Moon 44 says, is this the budget for crypto or the election? Talking about Gary Gensler asking for $2.4 billion while the U.S. is massively in debt. That $2.4 billion is so that that is the SEC's operational budget. That's how much money they need for the year to run. That would include 170 additional SEC enforcement agents that are focused on crypto and digital crimes. Yeah, Gary's asking for a lot of money. Gary is a WEF agent. Oh man, a lot of people are thinking it. Let's go to the heat map and then learn on why the 13th is so big. But gentlemen, don't forget the 14th. Take care of your lady that day. Bitcoin sitting at 48,220. ETH not at 25, but darn close to 24.98. XRP hovering around that 52 cent mark. You got XLM we're going to talk about a lot in this video. Hovering right around 11 cents. Let's be real here. XLM, no. Has it gone up? No. But you know what, though? It is holding its own fairly well. It has been fighting and holding that 11 cent support mark, looking a lot better than what we were thinking. ICP still turning heads at 12.8, and TRX wouldn't touch it with the 10-foot pole. It's in the green at 12.5. The Fed is right to be patient on rate cuts. Yeah, let's learn about some macros here, and I'm going to have macroeconomic information for you at the end of the video when I point to the video. Yet the evidence so far suggests the Fed is right to exercise patience and delay rate cuts. Based on recent job reports, the labor market remains robust with no need for lower rates to stimulate employment. As far as price stability, the other half of the Fed's so-called dual mandate, inflation has cooled markedly in the past 18 months, but not enough to suggest that price growth is sustainably on the path back to 2%. That leaves most Fed officials, including Powell, wary of jumping the gun and easing monetary conditions. Essentially what they're trying to say in this article is that we've got some good economic things happening. The economy isn't like softening up from those high rates as bad as they would think. So Jerome Powell and the Fed are like, okay, well, I mean, we've got some stuff that's high, but we've got some labor stuff which is looking good. Well, we can leave rates higher for longer. See, and that's all about the switch flipping. But let's keep continuing. The Fed chair all but ruled out a rate cut in March, and that's what we're talking about when it comes to flipping the switch. We can flip the switch if this report here tomorrow comes in juicy. And by juicy, I mean low 2.0s. We get low 2.0s, you are going to see a massive pivot in this chart, and this chart here makes us all money. Doesn't matter what crypto you're in, makes us money. As always, any article you see in this video will be linked in the description below. Let's keep learning. The Fed chair all but ruled out a rate cut in March, barring some kind of economic shock. In a comments and press conference following the January FOMC meeting, he then doubled down on a message in a February 4th interview with 60 Minutes. Does anyone still watch 60 Minutes? It just reminds me of like an old person show. Saying the committee wants to be more confident that inflation is moving down to 2% before starting rate cuts. This is what Jerome Powell said. It's not likely that this committee will reach that level of confidence in time for the March meeting. Okay. Right now, 84% chance that the Fed is going to pause for this meeting. Then when you start looking at the May contract, that's when things get juicy. Now, flipping the switch happens when these rates go down. Why? Because it means investment in crypto and other risky asset classes goes up because money is cheaper. But we've got some problems here, and here's one of them. And I thought I would share this with you. We go through macros a lot on this channel, and we talk a lot also about rent and housing just being through the roof. And right now, retail is what is fueling the crypto market. Obviously, banks aren't buying in big, because if banks were, let's be honest here, don't you think prices would be a bit more juicy if like all the banks and bigs were getting in? So a lot of this is fueled by retail money. Well, the problem is, though, is retail's paying a lot for rent. So what I have up on the screen is the 12-month percentage change of rent in the selected areas. In the last 12 months, rent in Miami up 10%. My area, Atlanta, about 7.1%. The US average, 6.5%. Talked to a few of you across the pond and you said, yo, Klaus, housing and rent is still going up crazy high in the good old land of the UK. St. Louis, Missouri area, still up 5.3. San Francisco, which is usually frequency high, 3.3. But think, this is higher on higher on higher. So if rent is staying up, if housing is staying up, that means Jerome Powell's comments regarding, hey, it's not likely that the committee will reach that level of confidence in time for the March meeting. It's because rent and housing isn't going down. And remember everyone telling you, oh, housing bubble's gonna burst, rent bubble's gonna, no, it's not. It's way too strong. Private equity groups are pumping it up. This is the previous report, okay? You can see energy went down a lot, all items up, food was up, all items less food was up as well. And specifically, this is the trend fear, okay? Now, how does this tie into XLM and flipping the switch? Well, as we were looking at these rates going down, okay, these inflationary rates going down, we're like, okay, cool, let's start turning down that dial and making money more affordable. Because when money was more affordable a few years ago, like right here, see how low the inflation was here? People had extra money to put into what everyone? Crypto. And when did crypto go boom, everyone? It went boom when money was cheap. So now, right, inflation went high and we had to raise rates, and now inflation's kind of stagnant. You can see it right here, right? It's kind of gone a little bit sideways here in the middle of the screen. We need it to go further down. So the report we're looking for tomorrow, which is the 13th of February, we're going to have a live stream starting at 8 a.m. regarding it. Don't worry, I got your back. The announcement for the actual data will happen at 8:30 a.m. So live stream tomorrow, hit the subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss out. But the deal is this, if we get something really low here in the low twos, that is going to definitely start pushing this data over to the 505.25 mark. And that's what we want. We want rates to get down as low as possible. Okay, check it out. 500 to 500.25, that's some expensive money. We get this back down to like the 2s and the 300s, you could definitely see a lot more money flowing into XLM and all your other favorite cryptos. Now, earlier I said I think this is going to be a bigger move than Sorban, and here's why. We've had Sorban, an announcement for dev happening all around this time period that I'm rolling over the cursor right here. And as you can see, nothing juicy has happened. But look at this craziness. Oh my gosh, when crypto was going boom, specifically XLM, it was following macroeconomic conditions. It was following what, everyone? It was following low inflation and low Fed fund rates. So XLM is tied very heavily to Fed fund rates and central bank rates across the globe. As you've seen here, right? Sorban and all that stuff has all been announced during this. You haven't seen really any good bump up in price. It just hasn't happened with Sorban. But you get something really juicy here, something in the low twos, okay? The last few, let's take a quick look at that last few rates here, okay? The last few rates we've seen at 3.4, 3.1, 3.2. We get something here like 2.2, 2.3, maybe even a 2.4. Dude, that could put massive pressure on Jerome Powell and the Fed to say, whoa, things are coming down. We don't want to overcook it. We don't want to screw everyone with leaving rates too high. Let's turn that dial down a little bit. And that's when XLM can start moving, when money is cheaper, just like you've seen back here. Money was cheap during this time. Development is strong here. Let's not be, unfair about this. Development is strong here, but monetary conditions suck. Development decent here, but monetary conditions were juicy. XLM moves when monetary conditions are juicy. Now, if you want to learn more about the timing of global macroeconomic conditions, that's going to be this video right here. Check it out, and also make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on the live stream tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to be talking about CPI data, baby, and how it moves the entire crypto market.